Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest-growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in U.S. stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up, with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbour. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbour. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for Blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the detail are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. You've given us quite a set of sources this week. It feels less like a news update and more like a geopolitical stress test for the whole crypto world.
It really is an incredible mix. It shows something fundamental, doesn't it? Digital assets, they're not just some niche tech thing anymore.
Exactly.
They're now, officially a macro barometer, reacting instantly to everything from, presidential tweets on tariffs to these massive global peace deals.
That's pretty much the puzzle we're trying to piece together today. How does a sudden policy idea out of Washington or a major negotiation in the Middle East suddenly matter more to Bitcoin's price than, say, a tech upgrade?
Yeah.
We need to connect these huge global events directly to what the market does and then look closer at where that core promise of decentralization is, bumping up against real-world rules and political goals.
What really strikes me is just how much the asset class has matured. In past cycles, this kind of volatility, it came from inside crypto rug pulls, exchanges going bust.
We're internal stuff.
Now, high-stakes peace talks, tariff threats. The market treats Bitcoin almost like a major commodity or an index stock. It's a big shift.
Okay, let's start with that market reaction. Because the initial shock, wow, it was big. Our sources confirmed just a few days back, the crypto market lost over, $19 billion?
$19 billion in liquidations, yeah. Came right after President Trump's first comments about maybe hitting China with 100% tariffs.
That's a staggering amount of money vanishing just based on geopolitical whispers.
It was an instant reflex to systemic risk. Tariffs mess with supply chains, manufacturing, global stability, all things the stock market hates. And when the stock market gets nervous, crypto definitely feels it now, especially anything involving hardware.
Makes sense. But the sources also show this volatility. It didn't last long, did it?
Yeah.
That fear started to unwind pretty quickly thanks to some clarifications.
That's right. Trump followed up pretty fast, sort of reassuring the market, suggesting those extreme 100% tariffs weren't really on the immediate table. And crucially, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed talks had already started. That really smoothed things over, made the worst-case scenario seem, highly unlikely.
And when that clarity came through, the market bounced back a bit. But the impact, it wasn't just Bitcoin's price, was it? This whole tariff uncertainty, it directly hits the gear needed for mining.
That's the critical link. Tariff uncertainty means you don't know the cost or availability of essential ASICs, all that hardware from Asia.
Right.
So when that 100% tariff threat faded, boom, direct positive effect on Bitcoin mining stocks. Companies like Riot, Cypher, Marathon, they saw double-digit gains.
Wow.
The market instantly factored in, smoother, more predictable hardware supply lines.
So stable global trade means stable Bitcoin infrastructure. Makes sense. But then we saw an even bigger macro stability moment driving crypto prices, this peace and prosperity declaration.
Oh, this is huge. A really positive shock to the system. We're talking the U.S., Egypt, Qatar, Turkey signing a declaration aimed at ending the Gaza conflict.
Yeah.
That gives a massive boost to investor confidence, not just regionally, but everywhere.
The document itself, it sounds pretty substantial. The sources say it's trying to build lasting peace through an agreement involving the U.S., Qatar, Israel, based on a 20-point plan, mutual respect, security, rejecting extremism, diplomacy for future issues.
It's framed as more than just a temporary pause, an attempt at real structural de-escalation.
Right.
And that's the so what for crypto investors. When major global conflicts, ones that seemed impossible to solve, start moving towards resolution, it just slashes systemic risk across all financial markets.
Okay.
Investors see a more stable world. They feel more willing to put money into growth assets, high-risk assets, and right now, that includes Bitcoin and crypto. It just proves that real-world stability is a primary driver for digital asset investment now.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Global stability is boosting crypto prices, but then we have to ask if crypto's own core ideas can stand up to, well, closer inspection. Let's shift from world peace to a tricky ethical spot in DeFi, Uniswap.
Yeah, this gets right to that fundamental challenge for DeFi, this idea of permissionless, borderless finance. You had a Solidity developer from Distributed Labs calling out Uniswap Labs publicly.
Okay, what was the issue?
The criticism was about overcompliance, basically, with OFAC regulations. Now, sure, they have to block sanctioned places like Crimea. That's the law. But this developer found Uniswap's centralized front end, the website most people use, was blocking IPs from non-sanctioned parts of Ukraine, like Kyiv. And apparently for 8 months.
Okay, wait. Isn't Uniswap Labs a U.S. company, though? Aren't they just, playing it safe legally?
Yeah.
Compliance is probably easier if you just use something like Cloudflare to block broad regions, right?
Well, that's the heart of the debate, isn't it? Yes, compliance is mandatory for the centralized company providing the access point. The underlying protocol, the smart contracts, they're still open, uncensorable. But the sources really highlight how that centralized web front end becomes a choke point. If that layer starts blocking people it shouldn't, just to be extra safe, it kind of undermines the whole promise of DeFi being censorship resistant for everyone.
So accessibility isn't universal then, it becomes selective.
Exactly. It basically means permissionless only really works if you're tech savvy enough to go around the front end and talk directly to the contracts.
Which most average users aren't going to do.
Probably not. So for them, the system is effectively geofenced. And that's, well, a pretty big question mark for mass adoption if it relies on these strict philosophical ideals.
Yeah, that's a significant issue.
And what's fascinating is while Uniswap is sort of bending its philosophy to comply, you've got politics rushing to embrace crypto. Let's look at the UK. Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, potentially the next PM, he's making crypto reform a big part of his platform.
Farage is coming at this from a totally different angle.
Yeah.
He doesn't see crypto as a compliance problem. He sees it as like a national advantage. He made some incredibly bold promises at the Digital Asset Summit recently.
She's definitely using this politically. First, big pledge, sensible regulation. Okay, pragmatic. But then, slash capital gains tax on crypto down to just 10%.
Wow.
That's a huge signal to investors, to builders, saying the UK is open for crypto business.
But the really radical idea, the one that centralizes Bitcoin's power nationally, is his plan for a national Bitcoin reserve at the Bank of England.
Yes. using the central bank to hold Bitcoin. That's a major statement.
And his reasons seem quite personal, too, which probably resonates. He talked about banning banks from debanking people just for using crypto.
Right. He cited his own experience being targeted by opponents trying to get his accounts closed. That personal story adds a lot of weight, makes his pro-crypto stance feel more authentic to that community.
He also said Reform UK would be the first major UK party to take political donations in crypto, properly regulated, of course. So you have this perfect contrast. Uniswap, decentralized tech, centralizing access for compliance. And for Raj, a centralized political figure trying to weave Bitcoin into the very fabric of the nation-state for mass adoption. It really makes you wonder which path actually gets us to the mainstream.
And while the West is kind of wrestling with these philosophical versus political issues, you look over at the UAE and they're just moving decisively, building themselves up as the global hub for regulated real-world crypto use.
Yeah, their strategy seems really clear.
Yeah.
Get the regulations in place quickly and push for actual use cases.
Exactly.
The sources detail this big partnership. DMCC, the Dubai Multi-Commodity Center, is working with VAA, their Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. The goal, speeding up commodity tokenization.
This is a really powerful move, integrating physical stuff with digital finance. Their goal, explicitly, is taking commodities, gold, diamonds, valuable industrial materials, and putting them onto blockchain systems.
Making them liquid, basically.
Right. Creating a transparent, scalable, regulated way to trade these tokenized real-world assets.
Yeah.
And DMCC already has, what, over 700 Web3 companies there?
Yeah, huge base.
So they're using that existing ecosystem to launch pilot projects for these high-value assets, gold, diamonds first.
It's not just theory, then. It could unlock liquidity for assets that are normally pretty clunky to trade or verify. And then there was another big regulatory step, embedding crypto into daily life with Crypto.com.
That's another key piece. Crypto.com's trading arm there, Forex DAX Middle East, got in-principle approval from the UAE Central Bank for something called a Stored Value Facilities License, an SVF license.
Okay, and what does that actually let them do for the listener?
It basically lets them act as a regulated payment processor, the really practical part. It allows people to use digital assets to pay government fees in Dubai.
Okay. Seamless integration into government payments.
Exactly. And here's the clever local compliance bit. It deals with that Rampex question. The platform instantly automatically converts the crypto someone pays into the Rampex stablecoin.
Rampex being the required local stablecoin.
Yes, the specific regulated stablecoin needed for UAE local currency rules. So it builds this compliant automatic bridge between, say, Bitcoin and the dirham payment the government needs. It massively boosts real-world usefulness within their framework.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's quickly hit the latest market numbers from the sources. It gives us a snapshot of where things stand after all this global news.
Sure. So despite all that volatility we talked about, the global market cap is holding up, still well above $4 trillion, sitting at $4.06 trillion.
Pretty strong.
Yeah. Bitcoin dominance, quite healthy too, 56.90%, suggests focus is still in the big one, and the price currently hovering around 115,865 data.
What seems most interesting, though, is the ETF data. Even after the good news on tariffs, we're still seeing outflows.
That's right. Total outflows are negative $91.68 million overall, and Bitcoin ETFs took most of that hit, $72.8 million out. But, and this is important context, these numbers came before that Middle East peace agreement was announced.
Okay. Timing matters.
Absolutely. Given how strongly that kind of positive macro news usually lifts investor confidence across the board, it suggests we might be at an inflection point. You'd kind of expect those ETF flows to potentially turn positive in the days after the peace deal news broke.
Makes sense. And overall sentiment.
Cautious. It moved up slightly from fear to neutral. Score of 40 today just reflects a market that's really sensitive and now clearly directly tied to breaking global political headlines. #tag outro.
So, pulling all these threads together, what have we seen in this deep dive? It's a world where global conflicts, political shifts, they are now fundamentally linked to crypto's health. Peace deals, tariff talks, they directly move prices now. Crypto is a real macro asset. But at the very same time, those core ideas of decentralization, they're facing serious tests from within, forcing platforms like Uniswap into choices about centralized access just to comply with the law.
And that leaves you with this really profound tension to think about. You've got centralized entities maybe undermining the permissionless dream because they have to comply. And then you've got powerful political figures like Farage wanting to centralize Bitcoin's power through things like a national reserve, hoping that's the path to mass adoption.
Yeah.
So the big question might be, does mainstream crypto adoption depend on sacrificing that core anti-censorship ideal for institutional comfort? Or is true decentralization always going to be kind of fundamentally at odds with the nation state and its regulations?
That really is the central conflict playing out right now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for providing these fascinating sources and letting us take this deep dive. It truly shows how finance is reshaping itself around global politics in real time. Keep exploring those connections.